We're back at CV Hall in the basement. It's about 11:30. Last time we went here, we did get a little bit of evidence, but we didn't really get to elaborate on it because we really weren't sure what we were looking for.
Is that what you call a little bit of evidence?
In the basement, we got a little bit of evidence. We had,
okay.
the what I think to be the nurse voices, but
yes.
We'll see. We'll see what we can get. This is the first spot. This looks like a storage room.
Yeah, there's just stuff thrown in here. I've asked to take it home and I was rejected. So
yeah, it's a shame.
It is a shame.
But so we're gonna do a little bit of a spirit box session here, and then we're also gonna poke around and see what else we can find in a bit. Yep, there it is. There it is. All right.
No battery. Totally off.
Are you kidding me?
What did it say?
It just said no. It said no battery. I literally just charged this thing before we got here. Astonishingly, the spirit box that I just charged died as we started the investigation. Was this a technical error or something else? So, we're back in the basement of CV Hall. The spirit box died even though I charged it literally right before we came here.
Allegedly.
Either way, we've got it charging now, and so it should be working. So let's get this started before this one dies.
Do we have a charger for that one?
Well, this is battery powered.
Oh, great.
Yeah. All right, and let's get that. There we go. All right,
Okay.
you can start.
Okay. Let me channel all my serious energy into this. Okay. If there's any, damn, I'm rusty. If there's any presence here with us today, if you want to make yourself known using the spirit box, or I mean, you can make a noise if you want to, but we have the spirit box here for you to use if you choose. So we're just gonna leave that open for you right now. Like that.
Are there any nurses down here with us? After using the spirit box for 15 minutes and not receiving a single voice, we decide it's time to head upstairs to the 3rd floor. Nothing happened in the basement. We decided to make our way up here where things are
where it all began.
A little more active. So we're going to start with, before we use the spirit box, we're going to start and see if we can't get manifestations in multiple other ways. What I'm using right now is an audio recording device, and potentially will help to pick up something that we can't hear just from our ears. This is the first time using it, so we'll see if I get anything. You'll know when we're done with the episode. So I'm going to start this right now. All right, and so buddy, if you're here with us, manifest yourself in some way.
Ew.
Talk into this, give us a knock, speak, give us a sign that you're here. I'm not gonna lie to you, it's very tense in here.
I for sure feel weird.
I feel uncomfortable and intense, but like, I can't say that I feel like a presence though.
I don't know. Mm-hmm. I like holding the box.
If you're here with us, buddy, talk to us again. Was that your voice I just heard?
I'm like looking for like a deep voice because it was deep up here last time.
I didn't think it was that deep. I'm not gonna lie to you.
It was definitely not feminine.
Multiple voices, but that voice is warning us, and then we got like a deeper reading.
If there,
You heard that?
what did it sound like?
It sounded like the voice from last time.
If there is anyone here with us right now, do you want us to leave?
Don't start with that one.
Yeah, I love asking.
What's your name?
I heard Gunner.
Yeah.
I heard like a voice say Gunner.
Yeah. This is astonishing. Not only can you hear 3 separate spirits, but one of them responds to our question twice.
If they're...
Use your energy to communicate with us. That was go home. That was go home.
Ew.
Do you remember us from last time? I can't tell if these are radio stations or like...
Here's the thing, I kind of thought I heard something that said like F you.
Okay, so we all got a U out of that. Is there anything you want to tell me?
I heard bitch.
I heard something there, but it's like it's not coming through strong enough for me to be certain.
Which one of us do you like better? Hoping for an Alyssa. I heard something.
Listen carefully. The same voice that said I hate you to me said it liked Alyssa. Could this be the same spirit that affected me last time at CV Hall?
Hello, welcome back. We decided we're still on the 3rd floor, but it's on a different level. So this is mainly like professors' offices, and like there's like a lounge area. So that's where we are right now. We didn't get to come here the last time we went to CV Hall because we only made it to like the
place where Kenny is.
The place where Kenny is right now because, you know, Kenny had his issues. So we're here. I'm with Kayla, who is the AP. Is that?
Technically, yeah.
Okay, she's the AP this season, the creator of the show. We're here with the legend. Everyone, we're very excited.
This is my baby.
So I invited Kayla to do this spirit box session with me because it's always more fun to summon demons with a friend. Is this good?
It's not the worst. Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
This is an amazing EVP. Not only did the spirit speak without being asked a question, but it also identified the equipment we were using. This is an incredibly rare find.
What was that?
I don't know what that was, but that sounded like something.
I don't know what it said. I don't know what that said, you guys. That was not me.
Here's the thing. Like, last time we got a lot of voices coming through. Like,
I heard stop.
Like, we got a lot of, like, warning voices, and then it seemed like something that was, like, more mean. Do you remember us from the last time we were here?
I heard don't play with me. That's what I heard. I heard don't play.
Yeah. That was the same voice. Last time we were here, someone was warning us to leave. What are you warning us about?
I heard watch out. Watch out.
We're just here to talk.
I did not like that. I don't know what it said. Are you all right with the fact that this is an academic building now and there are students here all throughout the day? Like, is that fine with you? Your opinion.
After the last time we were here, some people think that there's something to be afraid of.
I kind of heard like no. Okay.
Here's the thing.
Why does everyone feel sick around you then?
There's
Riddle me that. The same voice like came through like a minute ago, and it just sounded like could be to me, like could be.
During Kayla and Alyssa's spirit box session, they got the same spirit to respond to them 3 times. Upon further analysis, I don't think the voices are in English. Listen closely. Could this be a patient that died at the hospital years ago? Or could it be something else?
Hello, and welcome back to Plattsburgh Paranormal. My name is Matt, and I'm your investigation analyst host. I'm joined by Kenny and Alyssa, and they're here to talk about their triumphant return to CV Hall. So, out of all the locations that you went on to do these last series,
Yeah.
and now you went on a lot of them
You
as
were on
cameraman.
all of them, weren't you?
I went on all of them, yeah.
Yes.
So, what made you choose CV Hall as the one location to do again?
Well,
Well, I'll let you start because it makes more sense.
CV Hall was by far the most active place we went to last semester.
Yeah.
As well as I have a morbid curiosity with that building because of what happened to me there last semester. The way I was affected, I've gone on a lot of investigations, but I've never been like affected by something the way I was at CV Hall.
Yeah, I remember watching some of the footage, and you started to like feel sick, or like you knew something was there.
My man's
but...
was shaken.
Yeah.
I've
yeah.
never seen you like act like that before.
Yeah, no, it was rough. It was I was actually scared. I've never been scared on an investigation, but I was not in a good spot when we went there.
So, was this investigation that you just recently took, was it similar in ways or completely different than the first one?
You can take this one.
Oh, here's the thing. I think the first one was a lot more scary. I thought I was going to be more intimidated going into this shoot, but I actually wasn't. I was kind of pretty chill because it seems like whatever is there doesn't dislike me. So like that's why I'm like down to be there. I don't mind it.
So yeah, I was told that you asked it who it seems to like more.
Yeah, here's the thing. I was definitely a lot like less serious with my questions this time because I wanted to just like have a good time with the ghosts. See if they responded. I don't know. See if they're down to clown. So I asked like, who do you like better, me or Kenny? And it literally said Alyssa. It sounded more like Lissa, which is like cute because that's my nickname, but it said Alyssa for sure, and it was pretty clear. So I do feel flattered. I can't lie to you.
So do you think this time around you were a little bit more prepared, I guess you could say, for things to happen? Or
Yeah, I guess like prepared. I don't know because like I figured if something bad was going to happen, it would happen to Kenny. And I remember him telling me when we were like planning the beginning of the season, he was like, listen, during these investigations, if anything bad is going to happen to anyone, it's going to be to me. Yep. And I was like, okay, then that's like chill. So I'll just be there for like comic relief. And that's how I feel.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'll interrogate. I'll provoke anything. And,
you will, and like
I'm not afraid
that's
to.
dumb on your part.
It is.
I'm just chilling.
It is, but this one was definitely it was definitely different in like the best way possible. I was expecting to get really tense in there again, but instead we got a lot more evidence. And like one of my favorite responses that we got was when we asked how many spirits were there, and it said 8. And it like reflected in the different voices that we got. We got many different voices, male, female, like lighter tone, and then there was one that was like a whispering dark.
Yeah.
Like that one was scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like the same like I'm gonna assume malicious. I'll just say kind of like I'll say mean-spirited. There was like the same mean-spirited like deep male tone. And as soon as we heard it, we were both like, we know him. We know him.
I know him well.
Yeah, you know him better than I do.
So, speaking of bad things happening to Kenny,
I love this topic.
I have one important question to ask you. Do you think it's possible, in any way, whether directly or somehow, that one of these spirits that you may have interacted with could have followed you home?
I like knew that was gonna happen.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I didn't think it did. Honestly, when I went back, my roommate said like they thought some weird things were happening, and I thought that they were just being paranoid about this stuff. But my one roommate, Wilson, who is the most calm, like doesn't get upset about anything person I've ever met in my life, was having rage fits. I've never seen him so angry. And it was over little and dumb things, and like he was even aware of it. My other roommate had 3 nightmares, 3 vivid, he said horrifying nightmares the night after. So we decided to do an investigation, a mini impromptu investigation. So we went into the basement, and I started, as soon as I was about to start recording, we turned on the spirit box, and there was a loud slam right next to us. Like on the wall. There was no way that could have happened.
So like it knew that like you were trying to listen or find it.
3 grown men ran straight upstairs immediately. It took us a second to regroup, but we eventually went back down and we started recording. And on the video, it's iPhone, so it's not like the best quality, but on the video you can see 2 orbs, one of which Wilson reacts to. And then shortly after, we get only one voice from the spirit box, and it told us to leave. Now, I'm upset because that guy came to my apartment and tells me to leave my house.
You went to his.
I visited, but I didn't tell him to leave. I was just visiting to communicate.
Okay,
There's a
he
difference.
didn't want you there the first time, and then you're like, "Hey, y'all, let's go back." You know what I'm saying? So like, it is your fault, and the fact that he wanted to follow you home, that's on you.
I do have to agree.
Yeah, no, she's not wrong.
It totally is your fault because you were the one who decided to go back.
Yeah, no, she's not wrong.
And I slept soundly that night. So coincidence? I think not, because I slept like a baby.
So, looking over some of the other footage and some of the other audio recordings and stuff, a lot of the voices that we heard, or a lot of what we think to be words or sentences, some of them seem to be, I wouldn't say threatening, but kind of warnings.
Yes.
Like the get out, and like I know watching some of the footage, it seemed as though they were trying to talk to each other rather than talk to you.
Which, that's cute. That's kind of funny.
That was, like, after looking through your and Kayla's bit, that was honestly...
I didn't even know any of that was happening.
Well, that's the thing, is, like, while you're on location, it's hard to tell what exactly is a voice and what's not. It isn't until we get to editing that, like, we can tell.
That's the sucky part about it.
There are a few things that come through that are, like, clear as day and, like, obvious. But, for your guys' part, when I went through and I started editing the footage, like, it was almost like you guys weren't there and they were just talking back and forth to each other. So it was
like a little me and Kayla, like on the other side.
Yeah, exactly. Like, what was
fun.
it? The one that really gets to me is that the first thing that comes through the spirit box is it referring to the cameraman. It's like, it's a camera. Like, they knew what a camera was.
He pointed that out to me when we were going over it. There was also the one where you can hear over the spirit box one of them say, "Don't play with them."
Yes, don't play with them. And then I'm still fine, but I'm still not sure what the response was to that, but it sounded like have to. Like, that's what it sounded like. I'm still, like, trying to figure that out. But, like, there are a lot of things that came through that I still can't make out, so I'm, like, still trying to figure out what exactly they are.
So, when you were listening to all this stuff, did you try to pick out maybe names or any sort of...
Yes, we tried to get, when I asked what my name was, on location, we thought the box said Kenny, but after going through the footage, it definitely said Megan. And
You asked what your name was?
What my name was, and we thought it said Kenny, but going through the footage, it definitely said Megan. But it was a female voice.
So maybe they were saying their own name.
Their own name, yeah. And then the other one, it definitely, it did say Blake.
Literally clear as day, it said Blake, and I was like Blake Lewis? Like, y'all know Blake?
But then you asked, like, so your name is Blake, and it said yes.
Yeah.
So, like...
So you got 2 responses back to back. You got a name and you got a confirmation.
Yes. I think there was another one that said Gunner, if you remember that.
Yeah, wait, that was when you and I were doing ours.
Yeah.
Yes, I do remember hearing a Gunner. I don't think there's anything else about that.
Yeah.
So you mentioned to me, and this was caught on your audio recorder,
Yes.
that you were alone in the basement, nobody else was in the building, and you left the audio recorder running.
On the 3rd floor, yeah.
And you heard knocks.
3 knocks.
3 knocks.
It was 10 minutes after, like it's marked 10 minutes after we were, I set that up there. And what ended up happening on the shoot is that's when I went up there, I said a quick thing to try and get a response, I set it down, and then I left. We went downstairs, that's when the spirit box died after I just charged it, so I had to run back. So everyone was downstairs, no one even came close to upstairs, but you can hear a specific, like there's rustling, you can hear movement, and then you also hear 3 specific knocks.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but usually in these circumstances and when you dive into this realm, 3 knocks is not a good thing.
No, that's like a demonic thing. There was also like flies.
There were flies.
Do you
That was
remember
the
the
other
flies?
thing.
There was like dizzy flies, and I was like, I have not seen a fly in months.
Yeah.
It's
Not
middle
even in a
February.
building.
Because for everybody watching, they know
We filmed this
Plattsburgh
in
is a
February.
very, very cold area,
Cold here.
especially in the middle of February.
Yes.
And
So-
there were flies everywhere.
Exactly. Like that's what caught me off guard. Is like the fly flew in my face and I didn't realize it at first, but then like when I put it together, I'm like, why would a fly be here on the 3rd, like in any situation? Like I haven't seen one in months. So like that's what kind of like really spooked me, with on top of the demon response we got last season
Yeah.
and like all of the other things and the 3 knocks, like it all confirmed and like went full circle.
And the temperature changes.
Yes.
Because that floor was like,
Ice
it's
cold.
weird because heat rises the basement so hot for some reason. All the other floors really hot. And then we got to that floor and it's like, oh, it's like, this is nice, it's refreshing. But it's also like sketchy.
Yeah.
During your investigation there, from the moment you walked in to the moment you left, did you notice any, whether they be major or minor, any sort of technical difficulties or malfunctions or anything like that when it comes to using the audio recorder or the spirit box or really anything that you used?
So I'm not sure if camera batteries were wonky. I'm not like 100% sure, but the weirdest thing that happened was definitely the spirit box. Because I go out of my way to make sure everything's full battery before we go, because, you know, a lot of the investigation rides on that. So I charged it all day. We go there, and I turn it on, and it says low battery powering down the moment I turned it on.
So kind of like you walking in there just drained it.
Yeah. It was really weird, and I feel like whatever was there, it definitely remembered us.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
the problem.
Yeah.
I could have just walked in there,
And-
done the investigation by myself, and I'm sure it would have been like good.
Yeah.
Like
You would have had like a
happy vibes. But like Kenny walks in, it's like, ooh, we gotta teach this man a lesson.
Yeah.
But like whatever.
Well, that's all the time we have for this episode of Plattsburgh Paranormal. Tune in next time for another new investigation. You can stream this episode on YouTube or follow our Instagram at Plattsburgh Paranormal. Until next time, everybody, have a wonderful night.